magkano na ho ba ang coverage ngayon ng PhilHealth sa panganganak? Ano ang old rate at ano yung bagong rate sa panganganak at dito po sa pneumonia? Halimbawa, uso ngayon ng respiratory illness.
Previous package po natin dyan sa normal na panganganak ay 7,500. Ngayon po is around 14,000 pesos na po. Ang CS naman po yung pag-uusapan, previously ang atin pong package rate for cesarean section is 19,000. Ngayon po, this is around 37,000 pesos. Ang pneumonia naman po natin, especially yung pong ating high-risk pneumonia, is from 32,000. Ngayon po is 90,100 pesos na.
Salamat. Sulit ang ating pangungulit sa inyo na sinali nyo na po yung dental benefits, pati itong sa mata, no? Itong libre check-up ninyo at libre salamin.
Wala na pong pasyente ngayon na pupunta sa mga pagamutan na pagpapagamot na walang makukuhang benefit galing sa PhilHealth.
So, ibig sabihin, once checked by the doctor na hindi naman niya kailangan magpa-admit ng 24 hours, may matatanggap po sila mula sa PhilHealth na
Yes, Mr.
benepisyo.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we can assure each and every member of PhilHealth, wag po kayong mag-alala, wag po kayong matakot pumunta sa ospital as a doktor. Sagot po kayo ng PhilHealth po. Rest assured.
Salamat, no? Gusto nating unang marinig mula sa ating PhilHealth ang inyong update. Kumusta na ho inyong plano ngayong taong ito at inyong sa transfer of funds, nagamit na ho ba itong magkano ho bang na-transfer totally for 2024 at yung naiwan, ginamit nyo na ho ba at ano na yung plano ninyo? Papakinggan ho namin kayo rito.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning. Can I go ahead, Mr. Chair, with my opening statement?
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead po, Mr. Ledesma.
Also, Mr. Chair, I'd want to apologize for arriving late today. We know how valuable your time is, no? We're usually prompt at PhilHealth, no? So, pasensya na po.
No problem po. I'm willing to adjust basta pumunta lang kayo rito at marinig kayo ng taong bayan.
And then, Mr. Chair, you mentioned earlier that you will not stop and you will continue to have hearings and to make us bantay. We value that very much, Mr. Chair. And I'd also like to take this opportunity, well, to greet you a Happy New Year. And in behalf of PhilHealth, we'd want to express our utmost gratitude to you, Mr. Chair, for all your support, comments, inputs, guidance to PhilHealth. No? Malaking bagay po sa amin yan. In fact po, yung passion nyo for healthcare has rubbed off on us officers at PhilHealth. No? Kaya talagang very masipag kami, hardworking. Thanks to you, Mr. Chair. No? Sana tuloy-tuloy po tayo sa 2025, Mr. Chair.
Salamat. Yan naman po ang wish ko sa Pilipino. Happy, healthy New Year po sa ating lahat. Hirap pong magkasakit. Sabi ko sana magbigyan tayo ng Panginoon ng magandang kalusugan ngayong taong ito. With the help of PhilHealth, kung sino man po yung magkasakit, wag naman sana, ay meron silang masasandalan at hindi ho sila matakot sa kanilang hospital. So gusto natin marinig ano na ho bang mga reformang ginawa ninyo sa umpisa ng taon at kumusta na ho yung inyong mga pinangako sa taong bayan. May commitment letter po kayo na pinirmahan. Kumusta na po ang inyong implementation at plano po sa ngayong taong ito?
Yes, Mr. Chair. I will share with you that we have maintained and kept all of our promises, Mr. Chair, and more. And also, just want to mention, Mr. Chair, to this honorable committee, to your good self, that PhilHealth will be celebrating our 30th anniversary this coming February 14. So in line with that, Mr. Chair, we have so much plans for the Filipino people, no? Not just with the benefit packages, with our digitalization. We have so many plans and we are hoping and asking for your full support so that we can all of these plans can be fulfilled and can be realized, Mr. Chair. No?
With the zero subsidy from the national government, kindly explain po kung ano na ang plano ninyo sa taong ito At kumusta na po? Paano nyo po ito mapapatupad? At paano kayo with a working budget, no, based on your excess funds or reserve fund? Kindly start with your presentation, Mr. Ledesma.
We'll start, Mr. Chair. Again, Honorable Chairperson, Senator Go, distinguished members of the Senate Committee on Health and Demography, pleasant good morning. Last year, 2024, was uniquely challenging for the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation. First, the corporation received orders for the return of a considerable portion of its funds, which is precisely the subject of this legislative investigation. By the way, Mr. Chair, we returned a total of 60 billion, no? And the last tranche, as you know, no, na TRO po ng Supreme Court. So that's the 29.9 billion still with us, no? Then, as the esteemed committee members are aware, PhilHealth received a zero allocation for 2025, zero subsidy in our appropriations law. These developments have understandably caused our members concerns about the implications on their healthcare benefits and the institution's overall stability. Thus, we are thankful again for the end time to this honorable committee, Honorable Senator Go, for giving us this opportunity to address our members' apprehensions about what these all mean for their healthcare. At the outset, we declare categorically that PhilHealth is currently in good financial standing, and our commitment to universal health coverage is as steadfast as ever. PhilHealth operates with funding drawn from various sources, including member contributions, government subsidies, and other revenues. Our reserve funds are currently adequate as our investments paid off, and we were prudent, extremely prudent in financial management. On the other hand, the funds for transfer to the National Treasury has been identified by the Department of Finance as exceeding what was required for benefit payouts last year. These two conditions, one, the lack of budget allocation, as well as the fund transfer ordered by the DOF, certainly require careful resource management by PhilHealth. However, our members can be rest assured that their national health insurer currently enjoys a strong financial position, so it is fully capable of meeting all obligations without disruption. To our members, you remain entitled to your benefits despite these mentioned developments. All programs, ranging from the Consulta to the enhanced Z-benefit packages, are being implemented as usual. No benefit packages will be taken away or diminished this year. PhilHealth only has new benefit packages for you and has further enhanced existing ones. To begin with, we closed out 2024 with a 50% increase in our all case rates packages. In total then, the effective rate of increase implemented last year for the all case rates was 95%. In other words, PhilHealth today provides almost double the amount of financial protection against healthcare costs compared to the beginning of last year. Mr. Chair, kaya po 95% yan, kasi last February 14, we increased it by 30%, and then a few weeks ago, we increased it by 50%. So compounded po yan, so yung 80% actually translates to 95%, Mr. Chair. Also, Mr. Chair, I just want to mention later if you want a full description on how we go about increasing or enhancing our benefit packages. Kasama po namin, Mr. Chair, ang head ng health finance policy sector namin, si Dr. Ish Pargas, and he can walk you through how the system works, no, when we get this approved by the board, no. On top of these increases in our all case rates, Mr. Chair, we also expanded and enhanced another 5 benefit packages before the year ended. We are especially pleased to have implemented increases in the coverage of those illnesses that we have identified as among those medical conditions that are the leading causes of mortality and for which we spend the most in healthcare. Accordingly, we increased the breast cancer package by 1,300%, and the hemodialysis package was increased by 144%. Also, the packages for heart attack and stroke, ischemic heart disease, acute myocardial infarction, were significantly increased. We also enhanced the Z benefit packages for peritoneal dialysis and kidney transplantation. The Z benefit package for kidney transplantation now covers procedures with both living and deceased organ donor transplantation up to over 1 million and 2.15 million respectively. Additionally, Mr. Chair, we developed the Z Miracles package for 10 rare diseases, which significantly increased coverage for rare conditions like maple syrup urine disease, Fabry disease, and osteogenesis imperfecta. We now also cover outpatient emergency care for more comprehensive financial protection against the unexpected. For life-threatening medical emergencies not requiring hospitalization beyond 24 hours, our members can count on PhilHealth. We also rationalized the benefit package for cataract extraction that should benefit both our senior citizens and pediatric cases. The inpatient COVID-19 benefit package was also rationalized, while the severe dengue package was increased by 194% from 16,700 to 47,000 pesos. Even as I speak, the enhancements of our benefit packages continue. Our circular for optometric services for 0 to 15-year-olds has been finalized for publication just early this morning, and it will be effective immediately upon publication. Lastly, preventive oral health services are now provided as a primary care service through the Consulta program. This package puts essential dental health services within reach of all our members, including prophylaxis and sealings. As I hope to have demonstrated with this brief report, we wish our members to have every assurance that they can rely on PhilHealth to continue fulfilling its mandate as the national health insurer. We are capable of settling all obligations that might arise from benefit claims this year, taking into account the enhancements and new packages we had just introduced. We would not have implemented this expansion of the National Health Insurance Program under my leadership had we not been in a financial position to do so effectively. PhilHealth's current situation calls for decisive action to optimize PhilHealth's resources. This year, then, we intend to intensify efforts to improve efficiency and reduce administrative costs even more, to ensure that absolutely every peso is used to maximize health outcomes for our members. Honorable members of the committee, Mr. Chair, we view this as a pivotal moment, not just for PhilHealth as an institution, but for the broader goal of universal health coverage. PhilHealth is facing a lot of challenges this year, but they are not insurmountable. For my part, as President and CEO, I can guarantee that every PhilHealth resource will be dedicated absolutely to keeping PhilHealth as the reliable vanguard of the Filipinos' right to quality healthcare. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, once more, for this opportunity to address the body and all our members. I look forward to your guidance on PhilHealth's way forward. Maraming salamat po. Happy New Year, Senator Go.
Salamat po. Can you just assure the public, Mr. Ledesma, despite the zero subsidy from the national government, wala ba silang dapat ikapangamba sa serbisyo na ibibigay ninyo ngayong taong ito? At hindi ba sila dapat matakot magpa-hospital? Mas papalawakin nyo pa ang inyong serbisyo ngayon?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we can assure each and every member of PhilHealth that wag po kayong mag-alala, wag po kayong matakot pumunta sa ospital as a doktor. Sagot po kayo ng PhilHealth po. Rest assured.
Importante rito, meron silang masasandalan. At dito naman sa, speaking of sa inyong board of directors, no? Sabi nyo na aprubahan nyo noong December 16 during your meeting na increase the benefit packages.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Sino bang member ng current board of directors ninyo ngayon, aside from the ex-officio members po?
So, Mr. Chair, currently it's a 13-member board of PhilHealth. Honorable DOH Secretary Ted Herbosa sits as chairman of the board. I sit as vice chair of the board. Then the other 11 members are composed of, there are six ex officio members. So that's DBM, DSWD, DOF, DOLE, and two others, no? And then we have expert panels, three members in the expert panels, and then we have the different sectoral representatives po, indirect, direct, and did I forget anything?
Meron kayong doktor?
We have, I think, a total of three, well, including Chairman Sec Herbosa, I think we have 3 or 4 doctors in the board of directors.
May mga specialista rito na nag-aaral, pag-aralan, o can suggest, can give their opinion
Doc
dito
Albert,
sa...
sino yung doctors ng board? We have Sec Herbosa, BM Gonzaga, and then BM Thea Jimenez. Tatlo lang ba po? Oh, and then BM Carmencita Padilla. So, 4 po yung doktor.
Ano yung
national scientist po yun.
Anong
si BM.
binibigyan nyo ng prioridad sa mga tinataas na case rates, expand na benefit packages? Halimbawa, no, I'm just curious about dito sa heart, di ba? 1,600% increase. Yun ang napili ninyong taasan. How about the other cases, no?
Actually, Mr. Chair, sorry, Mr. Chair. Actually, meron kaming benefits committee, no, which is chaired by Sec Herbosa also, no. Actually, the benefits committee, kami doon po natitake up po, pinag-aaralan lahat ng mga benefits na up for increase, no. And then before it's brought to the board.
Sila ang nagde-determine sa pag-increase or pag-improve ng benefit packages at pag-introduce ng mga bagong programa o bagong benefit packages sa PhilHealth. Sila nag-aaral?
Actually, it emanates from the EXECOM and from our health finance policy sector, no, and BDRD. And then doon pumupunta and then sa board po. Actually, Mr. Chair,
sino pong EXECOM ninyo?
Sa EXECOM po, we are composed of I chair the EXECOM, no? And then we have all the senior officers, the senior vice presidents, the COO, and then the senior vice president.
Ito yung EXECOM. Excluding the board of directors dito sa EXECOM.
EXECOM is all PhilHealth po. Parang executive committee po ng PhilHealth. Actually, Mr. Chair, kung may oras kayo, maybe we can ask Dr. Ish Pargas, heads our health finance policy sector. Siya yung in charge po sa lahat ng mga enhancements, increases ng benefits. Maybe he can walk you through,
yes,
Mr. Chair, very quickly how the policy works with the reviews, no? Is that okay, Doc?
Can you, you can take this,
kasi marami...
You don't have to stand up, Attorney Eli. You can take this seat.
Kasi Mr. Chair, I remember, I recall in the last hearing, marami kayong questions, gaano katagal,
para maintindihan po ng Pilipino. Kung,
yes po.
Sabi ko nga, pakilagay po. Sir, kindly... Dr. Ish, introduce yourself.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I am Dr. Israel Francis Pargas, the Senior Vice President for Health Finance Policy Sector, Mr. Chair.
Dr. Ish, ang tanong ko lang, kasi sinabi ni President Ledesma nung first or second hearing namin, sabi niya it would take time for us to review the 9,000 benefit packages. It would take time for us to review the proposed case rates. Actually, iba-iba nga yung sinasabi niya. May 30%, may 50%. Now, you came up with the 50% increase. That's good. That's very good, no? Kaya palang, bakit nagawa ninyo nung Disyembre? Ba't hindi nyo nagawa nung umpisa pa lang po ng taon?
Mr. Chair, we had 2 parallel directions in increasing our benefits. One is through our benefit development protocol, we prioritized the case rates, which were actually the top burden of diseases or the top 10 leading causes of mortality and morbidity. That is composed of the pneumonia, cerebrovascular attack, the heart attack, and dengue, and then the rest. That will take a lot of time because we did the costing of every diseases and we did the research and got the data from all the hospitals. So that will actually take time. However, we did another direction of increasing the benefits across the board, and that is the 30% and the 50%. So those which are included in the 30 and the 50% are not part of the prioritized case rates for rationalization. So the 30% and the 50% is a faster way of increasing the benefit because hindi po namin kinost ang bawat isang rate, but rather, for example, the 30%, what we use is the medical inflation rates for
So,
the
ibig
past
sabihin, itong
2020.
across the board na 50% ninyo, this is across the board lahat.
Yes po. Yun pong natitira.
Effective this year.
Yes, sir. And the 50% also.
So, 9,000
A little less than 9,000, Mr. Chair, because the exemptions are those which are being rationalized.
So, across the board, 50% sa 9,000 case rates.
Yes,
A little.
Yes,
little.
Mr. Chair.
Iba rin po yung
Mr.
mga...
Chair, sorry.
Iba rin po yung merong 1,600%.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So pinag-aaralan nyo case to case kayo.
Case to case po.
Go ahead po.
Sorry, Mr. Chair. When we say, actually kasi yung tamang terminology what we use, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, Doc Ish, no? We use almost across the board because it means almost all of the 9,000 case rates except the ones up for rationalization. So parang pag sinabi niyan, yung ginawa naming Mr. Chair, 30% last February 14 and 50% last month, almost across the board means almost 9,000 ang total case rates that were enhanced. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Dapat maintindihan po ng publiko ito at ng mga kababayan natin. Baka kala nila, wow, 50% ang tinaas. Ang laki. Pero, for example, no, just citing one case. Sa isang provincial health officer ng Camarines Norte, nung na-admit siya, 4 million yung kanyang billing, hospital billing. Ang sinagot ng PhilHealth, 27,000. So na-admit siya muli, 29,000 ang sinagot ng PhilHealth from his 6 million hospital billing. So ibig sabihin, a total of 10 million, ang nasagot is about 57,000. Less than 1% lang itong sinagot ng PhilHealth. So kung tataasan niyo ng 50%, kukompute mo yung 57,000, 50% ng 57,000, that is 28,500. So i-add mo yung 57 at saka 28, that is only around 85. Maliit pa rin, less than. So yun yung tinutukoy nyo. Baka akala ng tao, sinagot na ng PhilHealth, 50%. Pero dahil less than 1% lang yung sinagot ninyo, in-increase nyo ng 50% yung less than 1%, that is still less than 1%. Am I correct, Dr. Israel?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Maliit pa rin.
Maliit pa rin po, especially for those cases na talagang malalaki yung nagiging gastos. But what we are focusing also right now is to expand on our catastrophic cases. That's why nakaplano rin po, other than of course, yung mga nauna na heart attack, kidney transplantation, is nakaplano na rin po for us to review all our benefit packages, especially for cancer, for heart surgeries po, para po dun sa mga medyo catastrophic cases, malaki po yung magiging percentage ng ating magiging benefit, Mr. Chair.
Usap ko lang, sabi ko nga kay Mr. Ledesma nung July pa, sa earliest July, bilisan nyo yung pagre-review. Sabi ko na, nakaya nyo nga sa isang araw nung December 16, aprubahan po ng board ng PhilHealth yung pag-i-increase ng case rates. Dahil nag-panic na kayo, pwede nyo naman gawin sana as early as January, hindi kayo magkakaroon ng excess funds. Hindi kayo magkakaroon ng excess funds, hindi lolobo ang inyong reserve fund. Kung wala kayong excess funds, walang kukunin yung National Treasury na sobrang pondo ninyo. Sana, inagahan ninyo yung pagpaplano ninyo para wala kayong excess funds, inagahan ninyo yung pagpaplano ninyo, hindi lolobo ang reserve funds ninyo, kung ano lang yung naayon sa batas na kailangan na magkaroon kayo ng reserve funds, yun lang sana ang i-set aside ninyo. Tinanong ko po yan sa inyo, Mr. Ledesma, last December. Di ba tinanong kita kung inagahan nyo sana pagre-review, inagahan nyo sana yung pagtataas ng case rates, wala kayong excess funds. Hindi sana mawawalis ng National Treasury. Am I correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Actually, Mr. Chair, just to add also to what your comments earlier, that's why with our discussions sa Execom with Doc Ish, no, that's why we are focusing on the aside from the across the board increases, we are focusing more on the top 10 most common diseases. And then dun namin talagang tinataasan, no, the top 10 most common diseases by morbidity and mortality. Kasi yun ang talagang kailangan po ng mga taong bayan eh, diba? So doon kami nakafocus.
Yes, ang punto ko kasi sana hindi kayo umabot sa punto na magkakaroon kayo ng excess funds dahil ginamit nyo na sa expand ng benefit packages ninyo. Kung inagahan nyo po ang inyong reforma, inagahan nyo ang pag-expand ng benefit packages, inagahan nyo po ang pag-increase ng case rates, di ba wala sana kayong excess funds at hindi lolobo ang inyong reserve funds. Tama ba ako, Mr. Ledesma?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
O, di napakinabangan ng mga kababayan natin at walang pangamba. In-explain ko na nga kanina kay Dr. Israel Pargas. Maliit pa rin, di ba? Sobrang liit. That is less than 1% pa rin ang sinagot ng PhilHealth sa hospital billing. Kahit tinaasan nyo ng 50%, still less than 1% pa rin ang sinagot ng PhilHealth. So, andyan pa rin yung pangamba at takot natin magpa-hospital. Nakafocus kayo dito sa top 10 mortality diseases. Okay naman po yun. Pero aralan nyo po, lahat pangkalahatan po. Hindi naman po ang sakit ay limited lang dito sa 10. Lahat ng sakit ay pag-aralan ninyo. Kung kaya nyong i-expand na kaagad, increase ang case rates ng lahat para hindi na po lumobo ang inyong reserve fund at mapapakinabangan po ng mga kababayan natin, lalong-lalo na po yung mga mahirap na hindi po alam, yung iba po hindi alam nila na membro po tayo ng PhilHealth. Kaya sabi ko, pag-aralan nyo ng mabuti yung e-consulta program ninyo. Bakit? Less than 10% pa rin po ang nakapag-enroll at nakapag-avail. O, yung sagutin mo po ito, Mr. Ledesma. Bakit napakababa pa rin? Despite na all of us are members of PhilHealth, whether direct contributor or indirect, no, subsidized by government, lahat naman tayo membro. Bakit maliit pa rin ang po ang nagpapa-rehistro at nag-enroll sa e-consulta program ng PhilHealth? Dahil pag alam nila na membro sila, maaring mainganyo silang magpa-check up dahil merong e-consulta. Salamat, tinaasan nyo from 500, naging 1,700 na po. Mas mainganyo ang ating mga pasyente, magpapa-check up at yung LGU dahil alam nila na pwede meron silang pag-ooperate sa kanilang mga hospital o sa kanilang mga health center, no? Mas may makakabawi sila. Tuloy-tuloy ang kanilang operations. Ang tanong ko lang, bakit napakababa? Saan kayo nagkulang? Sa information drive o hindi talaga alam ng mga kababayan natin?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, Mr. Chair, we are on target with our consulta program, no, and I'll allow either CEO or Sernet to discuss that in more detail. But what I wanted to add, Mr. Chair, with your permission, is that although we've been very aggressive in increasing our benefit packages, we're definitely not going to stop there. In fact, Mr. Chair, and maybe Doc Ish can discuss this in more detail, meron po kaming 3-year benefit plan. So even after we have increased everything already, Mr. Chair, including the 95% increase in across the board, no, every month starting today, tuloy-tuloy yan, may mga increases yan, no. I think Doc Ish, correct me if I'm wrong, no, I think it's a 3-year benefit plan. So tuloy-tuloy nakalatag na po yan, no. So we will not stop here, Mr. Chair. Every month here, you'll see a lot of substantial increase.
Halimbawa na lang po, President Ledesma, Dr. Israel, panganganak. Katulad kanina, di ba? Hindi na siya nagpa-admit ng panganak, nanganak na lang sa sidewalk. Kung mainganyo nung magpa-hospital, magkano na ho ba ang coverage ngayon ng PhilHealth sa panganganak? Ano ang old rate at ano yung bagong rate sa panganganak? At dito po sa pneumonia, halimbawa, uso ngayon ng respiratory illness. Anong coverage na po? Anong tinaas ng inyong case rates dito?
Yes, Mr. Chair, with the permission of our President. For example po, Mr. Chair, for the normal delivery, para po dun sa ating normal na panganganak, we already have accredited even our maternity clinics, birthing clinics, and low-lying birthing clinics po. And ang previous package po natin dyan sa normal na panganganak ay 7,500. Ngayon po is around 14,000 pesos na po. At ang nagpapaanak po dito are our midwives, accredited midwives. Kung CS naman po yung pag-uusapan, previously ang atin pong package rate for cesarean section is 19,000. Ngayon po, this is around 37,000 pesos. Ang pneumonia naman po natin, especially yung pong ating high-risk pneumonia, is from 32,000. Ngayon po is 90,100 pesos na.
Ilan percent po ang itinaas?
So yun pong ating pneumonia, ang atin pong in-increase is a little less than 200% increase.
So ito yung mga cases na
Yun pong kasama po doon sa top 10
Top
or doon
10.
sa rationalized. Yes, Mr. Chair.
salamat, no, para at least maklaro lang po ng ating mga kababayan na hindi sila mangambang magpa-hospital at magpa-check up. Well,
Mr. Chair, just for information and update po, for this January, we have just published yun pong ating increase in cataract operation. And we will also publish this January our new benefit for prescription glasses for 0 to 15 years old. And before the month ends,
saan po sila magpapa-check up nito?
yun pong ating prescription glasses ay una, pwede pong sa schools, pwede po sa mga consulta-based centers para po dun sa initial assessment, and then they will be referred to an optometrist or an ophthalmologist para po dun sa kanilang prescription glasses.
Dr.
Kung
Domingo
kinakailangan.
ng DOH, baka pwede nila mapakinabangan yung mga super health center na tinatayo rin po ninyo.
That's
Dito,
correct, Mr. Chair. Tama po yun.
sa e-consulta.
Yes
Kumusta
po,
na
and we
yung
actually
suggestion
expect
natin na mag-usap kayo, mag-collaborate kayo between DOH at PhilHealth sa accreditation? Marami na po ako napuntahan na super health center, accredited naman, no? So meron na ba kayong hakbang na ginawa dito to accredit super health centers, barangay health centers para maging accredited po sa e-consulta program ninyo?
Yes,
Throughout,
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Mr. Chair. Sorry, Doc Ish. Mr. Chair, all throughout naman the whole year, we have very close coordination. We work very closely with DOH para kaming one happy family, no? So we're always in close touch with them and we discuss all of these things constantly, Mr. Chair. Also, Mr. Chair, I want to, with your permission, no, if I can just mention, kasi sa dami naming, we're being very aggressive in increasing all of the case rates, the top 10 diseases. Lahat po ito, everyone is saying, nako, sayang naman kung hindi nalalaman ng mga taong bayan, no? So, Mr. Chair, I just want to mention that all of this we specifically post on our website, sa PhilHealth website. Pati mga detalye, yung day of publication, day of implementation. So parang just want to tell our members, no, that if they have any questions and they have any queries or to want to clarify, yung sa website ng PhilHealth, very helpful po. We make sure that that's constantly updated po. Maraming salamat po.
Aside from that, yung suggestion ko lang po sa inyo, use the health centers, use the super health centers sa inyong information drive, sa inyong e-consulta program. Kasi yung mga super health centers na ito, Mr. Ledesma, located po ito sa malalayong lugar. Yung iba dito nasa island. Halimbawa lang po sa Batangas, sa Tingloy. Hindi po alam ng mga kababayan natin doon. Yung iba na membro sila ng PhilHealth. Pero kung lagyan nyo po doon na you can avail of e-consulta program here in your super health center, mas maintindihan po nila. Andyan yung mga doctors, may mga medical health officer yan. Once accredited sila, mas papadali yung information. Malaking tulong po ito, Mr. Ledesma, na mas mailapit natin ang serbisyo ng e-consulta sa ating mga kababayan.
Agree,
I
Mr.
hope
Chair.
na mag-usap pumuli kayo ng DOH at ng PhilHealth dahil gusto ko lang pong tulungan kayo na malaman po ng mga kababayan natin na membro sila ng PhilHealth and they can avail of the e-consulta program of PhilHealth.
Duly noted, Mr. Chair. Just want to assure you, Mr. Chair, we are in very close communication and coordination with DOH throughout the year yan po. No? Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Aside from Optal, yung sa mata, yung dental benefits, can you inform the public ano na ho bang covered nitong dental? Isa yun sa ating pinag-usapan noon na yung mga kababayan natin sa bundok, yung minsan sinulid na lang ginagamit sa pagtatanggal ng ngipin dahil ayaw nila magpa-dentista dahil wala silang pambayad. So sinulong natin, salamat, sulit ang ating pangungulit sa inyo na sinali nyo na po yung dental benefits, pati itong sa mata, no? Itong libre check-up ninyo at libre salamin.
Mr. Chair, with the permission of our president, we already have released our policy for the outpatient oral health care, and the services included here are 1, oral examination, 2, oral cleaning or oral prophylaxis, 3rd po would be the application of fluoride, and 4th would be the application of a sealant para hindi po magtuloy-tuloy yung pagkakasira ng ipin. And 4th would be the emergency tooth extraction. This can be availed in our accredited consulta providers with capability to provide dental health services, or they can be seen at the consulta provider and referred to our accredited dental health clinics, Mr. Chair.
So ibig sabihin, pwede rin doon sa mga super health centers kasi iba sa kanila may mga dental facilities.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Then itong 24-hour confinement rule ninyo, ano nang remedy na ginawa ninyo rito?
Well,
tinanggal nyo na ba totally or nag-introduce kayo ng mga bagong emergency packages po?
Yes, Mr. Chair. For the confinement, the 24-hour rule is still there. However, for those patients who need not be confined or will stay at the emergency room na hindi po kailangan ma-confine and they will stay there for like 3 hours, 4 hours, or less than 24 hours, they are now provided with a benefit under the emergency care benefit package of PhilHealth na yung pong polisiya ay na-publish na rin natin noong December 27.
So, paki-explain po sa publiko, anong ibig mo sabihin nito na kailangan pa rin nila magpa-admit ng 24 hours? No need na.
Yun pong ating inpatient, yun po yung ating admitted, and so far, andun pa rin po yung 24-hour confinement. Pero kung less than 24 hours po at hindi naman kailangang ma-admit at nagstay lamang sa emergency room because meron silang halimbawa pasakit ang tiyan, or halimbawa po nagkaroon ng laceration or any other emergency case na kinakailangan gamutin, meron na po tayo ngayong coverage for that na dati po wala tayo. So wala na pong pasyente ngayon na pupunta sa mga pagamutan na pagpapagamot na walang makukuhang benefit galing sa PhilHealth.
So ibig sabihin once checked by the doctor na hindi naman niya kailangan magpa-admit ng 24 hours, may matatanggap po sila mula sa PhilHealth na
Yes,
benepisyo.
Yes.
So yung doktor ang magdidetermine sa emergency room or sa emergency area ng hospital kung kailangan siyang i-admit or not. Kung less than 4 hours yung ano niya sa emergency room lang, may matatanggap pa rin siya mula sa gobyerno.
Yes, Mr. Chair, and actually kung halimbawa pong kinakailangan ng follow-up, pwede na rin po siyang i-refer to the consulta para po naman doon sa kanyang primary care and follow-up sessions.
So pwera na lang po doon sa kailangan talagang i-admit as determined by the doctor. Okay. So ito yung mga in-introduce ninyo na mga emergency packages po. Kasama ba rito ang reimbursement para sa about ambulance or medical transport?
Sa ngayon po, Mr. Chair, pinag-aaralan po natin yung coverage para po dun sa ambulances because sa ngayon po ay talagang ang tumutulong dito is the local government. Yun po mga provided ambulance para sa kanila. But katulad po doon, but there are specific benefits na kasama po yung ambulance service katulad po nung sa heart attack natin. Doon po sa heart attack or yung acute myocardial infarction, kasama po doon yung use of ambulance, especially for the transfer of patient from one facility to another facility who is capable of treating. Kasi katulad po nung angioplasty, hindi po lahat ng ospital is capable of doing that. So pwede pong i-transfer and may magagamit po na ambulansya, and currently the package for that is around 22,000 pesos.
Covered to ng PhilHealth.
Covered po yun ng
Yun ang
PhilHealth.
importante kasi minsan naghahanap pa ng ambulansya to. Yung iba naghahanap sa LGU, saan ba tayo makahiram ng ambulansya, o minsan out of pocket expenditures ito, bubunot pa sila dahil pambayad sa ambulansya.
22,000 po yung package natin for the use of the ambulance service, Mr. Chair. and transfer.
How about yung pambili po ng assistive devices tulad po ng wheelchair? Yun isa yun sa ninyong pinangako na how can they avail of this?
Yes, Mr. Chair, with the permission of our President, before the month ends, ilalabas na po natin yung approved by the board na polisiya po natin on outpatient rehabilitation package with the assistive mobility devices. Yun pong assistive mobility devices, yan po yung wheelchair, yan po yung canes, crutches, or walkers. So bago po matapos ang buwan nitong January, mailalabas na po natin yung polisiya na yan.
So saan po nila pwedeng ma-avail ito once approved?
Ito po sa ating pong polisiya na naka-design, ito po ay makukuha doon sa mga magiging accredited facilities natin who will actually say na kailangan mo ng isang wheelchair, kailangan mo ng crutch, at sila din po yung magsusupply at sila din po yung babayadan natin for this.
Salamat.